What's going on, people, and welcome to the first video of 2023. I hope you had a good New Year's. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. If you don't, I hope you had a good bank holiday and whatnot. But today we are kicking off the year with another drill vocal. This time we're going to be using only Universal Audio plugins. Now, disclaimer, that I am using the subscription service Spark, I believe it's called. It's UAD's own brand of subscription service, and there are some notable plugins missing from it. The distress is missing from there, the SSL bus compressor, but you do still get a good handful of decent plugins to get you going if you so choose. So of course, we're using the vocal multi-track 41 from the Music 7 store. So if you want to follow along, you can get the vocals from their website and follow along. And let's take a listen to what we got here.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hate G, make it clap for the fam. Gopper did man bait cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hate G, make it clap for the fam. Gopper did man bait cause he's...
Okay, so let's take a look at our mix window here. Let's start by bypassing all of our plugins. Okay, so the very first plugin we've got here is the Neve 1073, probably the best version of a 1073 plugin. We use these preamps just so we can get that flavor. We get that analog flavor that you can't get naturally with digital audio, of course. So we're using the preamp, we're driving it quite hard. And that's just giving us that flair, that analog flair that we want from our mixes. And then we're going straight into the LA2A. Now this is a leveling amplifier, as they say on the thing, but this is probably my favorite version of this compressor. You're gonna hear me say this a few times because UAD do very good plugins, it's gotta be said. The only issue is they're not very accessible. That's why this Spark subscription is quite good, because it does give you some of the plugins without having to have their hardware. Now this compressor here, we're just using it to level out the vocal. We don't want it to give it too much of a sound. We just want it to compress, get the vocal, you know, just open up the vocal a little bit, level it out. Let's hear what it's doing.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hate G, make it clap for the fam. Gopper did man bait cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. All right, we've not got any level matching there going on, but if you could hear it, it's very quiet. I apologize, but it just, I don't know, it sounded really kind of lacking energy before we slapped this compressor on. Again, we're not trying to do anything too crazy. We just wanted to level out and just round off the vocal a little bit and open it up. Then we've got an EQ. Now, I will admit, the Spark subscription doesn't have a great deal of EQs in it. I actually found the API EQ after already EQing with this one. I would have used the API one if I had known, but it's cool. We started off using this Hitsville EQ, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know what this is modeling. I don't know what Hitsville EQ is, but I did just want to cut some low end in that vocal, and it was the one plugin I could find at the time in the Spark bundle that would allow me just to do that really quickly. So we're doing a little cut here at 130 hertz, just a tiny cut, and we're also boosting the high, mid, and treble, and then we turn down the gain there. So let's take a listen to what that's doing. You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hate G, make it clap for the fam. Gopper did man bait cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed.
So that just brightened up the vocal, didn't it? It just kind of gave it a little bit of life, lifted it a little bit, got rid of that room noise, kind of that nasally frequency, gave it some high end, and it just overall just made it sound a little bit more professional, a little bit more polished. And then we're going into the 1176 compressor. Again, probably the best, I think, I'm not gonna act like I've used one of the hardware versions, but in terms of how I feel it sounds, I feel like this works best with rap vocals. It gives it that kind of over compressed sound, that dark sound that it's kind of known for, and it's really, really good on drill vocals. And of course I've not used the Waves one too much. I think I might have used it in one of my old videos, so I can't remember, but comparing it to the Slate version, I definitely like this one better, and I've been using it a lot. And if I do cancel my Spark subscription, I'm probably going to miss this compressor here the most. Let's listen to what it's doing.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block.
So it just gives it that compressed sound. It kind of that dark compressed sound that you hear a lot in rap, in this type of rap, not specifically drill, but more kind of darker rap, more like I guess that's the word to use, gritty, dark. And I really like it. I really like it to give it that punch and that roundness. Lots of low end in there as well. We do have a parallel here, which is on this send, and as soon as I engage that, the vocals are probably going to get louder. But what we're doing, we've got the same compressor as we saw just there, but we've got the Blueface version. So let's hear it before and after parallel compression.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know.
Again, there's no game match in there, but you can just hear it come to life. Parallel compression is really good for that. Just making your, if you feel like your vocal is missing something, try using a bit of parallel compression. We're slamming it, -10. We got the ratio on. I can't remember if I remember there was a way to press all the buttons down, but I can't remember how you do it now, just on the fly. But I think there's a shortcut that you can press all the buttons down, which puts it in all mode, and that's where you're really, really slamming the compressor. But as you can see on the fader here, we've got it quite low. We've not got it really loud. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just so that the super compressed vocal is just sitting under our vocal, giving it a lot more life, a lot more body, and just giving us that, that punch that we want from our rap vocals, our drill vocals. And then we've got our two reverbs. If you watch my videos, I like to use two different types of reverbs, usually a small reverb and a larger reverb. And for our reverb one, I believe this smaller reverb, we're using a Lexicon. We're using a Lexicon on both. Sorry, I forgot I did that. Now, this Lexicon digital reverb used to come in a Slate bundle, and then they took it out. And I really, really liked it in the Slate bundle. And I kind of learned it and got really used to it. But now I've kind of forgotten how to use it. But I just remember really, really liking it when I had it in the Slate bundle. But we just used a small room reverb on this. I'm not sure if I used, small hall.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know who it is and you know who I am.
So what that does is kind of gives it takes us out of the booth. That's kind of how I hear it in my head and how I visualize it. It makes it sound less like it's recorded in a small vocal booth and just, opens it up a little bit. And I've said that a few times, open up the vocal, and you're probably thinking, what the hell does that mean? But just so it's not so static and so just bland. You can get away with just using a small reverb, like if that's the kind of sound you want to go for, but it just kind of takes it out of that linear sounding vocal booth sound and gives it a little bit of depth. I just realized that my face is covering probably half the screen. Should I make my face a bit smaller? You get me? That was a bit unprofessional, but this is the most professional, unprofessional YouTube channel apart from Drink Champs, of course. But anyway, yeah, we use small room reverbs just to take us out of the vocal booth, and then we use a larger one to give it that reverb sound, that spacey sound, like more of an effect rather than a fix. And again, we're using an lexicon, this time using a vocal plate compressor setting, and these are the settings I used.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang, YHG, make it clap for the fam. Copper did man bait cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad.
And I actually did automate it, sorry, just on that gap. Bro, by the way, there is no delays. I don't know if I'm incorrect, like correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no delays in this bundle, like a proper delay. There's a tape delay or a slap delay, yeah, tape delay, but it's no like I wanted to have like a quarter note delay, just really quietly, just to kind of give the vocals some movement, but it was none. And I also wanted to add a fourth delay in these gaps.
Who I am, back with a bang.
I wanted to add a delay, but there are no delays, unfortunately. So what I did is I automated the reverb instead to kind of fill that space a little bit where the beat cuts out.
Know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit?
And obviously the stutters, which is just a copy and paste job with some EQ and another reverb. But I'm not going to go too detailed into vocal stutters and that. I feel like I've spoken enough in previous videos. But yeah, if there is something you want me to go into more detail about making, then you know what to do. Leave a comment. So then we're going our lead vocals and our parallel compressed vocals are going into one bus, and then we're going to start doing some bits and bobs to that bus. So now everything that we're doing, we're processing both the signals, the lead vocal signal and the parallel compression signal. So the purple one and the green one are going into this purple one. And if that's confusing, I'll make it yellow. Or I'll make it orange. All right, so the purple and the green are going into the orange. And now all the plugins we are putting on the orange is processing both the purple and the orange. So we start with an EQ, another EQ that is just, this is the best version of this. You know, this is everywhere. Waves has got a version, but this that I've used is just the less, it's the most natural. Natural is not really the word, but what I find with what I like to do with this plugin, I like to boost the high end. And I just feel like when I boost the high end using this plug, the Waves version of this plugin, it just sounds so brittle. Do you know what I'm saying? This sounds a lot more natural and a lot breathier, like airier. Did I boost the low end? I didn't boost the low end. I thought I did, but I didn't. I actually cut a bit of the low end at 100 hertz. That's interesting. I forgot I did that.
If you actually tap, you know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. YHG, make it clap for the fam. Copper did man bait cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things.
Vocals are getting drowned out in the beat a little bit there. Let's go back to this part.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. YHG, make it clap for the fam. Copper did man bait cause he's actually mad.
Do you know what? Let's get this compressor on there, just so the volume goes up.
You know who it is and you know.
Is it that one? Where's the volume coming from? Is it there?
You know who it is.
Do you know what? I'm giving away spoilers. All right, so after that EQ, where we're just trying to give it that super high end, the air, make it a little bit more shiny, we then got this purple version of the 1176. And I can't remember what video I saw. I saw like some sort of mix tutorial. It might have been Jason Joshua, I don't know. But I don't think it was him, but whoever's video I was watching used this a lot. So of course I had to slap it on there at the end just to give it a tiny bit more compression. You know, I like to over compress my drill vocals, and this is kind of how I like to do it. Just do it bit by bit. We're not slamming anything too hard. You know, our first compressor was only doing like -4. Our second compressor is only doing like -4, and this one's only doing like -4. And then we've got the parallel compression, which is something different entirely. So let's listen to what the purple 1176 is doing.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gas.
So that just gives it that extra lift, that last little lift that we need to kind of make it sound like just punch you in your face. Do you know what I'm saying? These bars, these types of tunes here, like, you don't want it to be all timid. You get me? They're not talking about timid stuff in drill. We want the vocals to be dipping man down. You get me? Just rapping guys. And when you listen to it, you want to feel like you're getting punched in the face. That's my job, is to make the listener really, really feel like my man is you know, about this, what he's talking about. And yeah, this last little compressor just gives us that little bit of bite that we wanted, that extra bite that we wanted. And then we've got a tape machine. It's a really interesting thing, putting your vocals through tape plugins, just because it gives it a nice bit of low end. And this is one that I had never used before. I didn't mess around with it too much. I kind of just left it as it is when you load it up, and I just wanted to hear how it sounded just going through there, and I liked it, so I left it on.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know.
Again, that's to give us our analog feel. You use these types of plugins just to give us that analog feel, but also if you just feel like your vocals are missing a bit of body, slap a tape plugin on there. Trust me, it just brings out the low end in any signal, whether it's drums, bass, whatever it is. It brings out, we can really slam it if you. No, there's no undo button. It's not worth it.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for.
But it just gives it a bit of saturation in all the right places. Sounds a bit kinky, but that's basically what we're doing. And then, yeah, this final EQ that I didn't find until late on in the mix. And I actually found it because someone showed me in one of my streams about categorizing your plugins. And that's when I kind of realized, oh shit, there is another EQ. You got the API. So on this, I don't know about you guys, but this EQ hurts my eyes. It's just such a weird interface. Obviously, it's modeled after a real EQ, but I just find it so weird. Like, my eyes have to do too much to really see what's going on. So, 200 hertz. So the blue one is how you select your frequency. So we've set 200 hertz and we're cutting. Man, this is a stepped EQ, so you can't go in and like really fine tune it. It just does 2 decibels at a time. So we cut 200 hertz by 2 decibels, and then we boosted 20k. You see the blue one is on 20k by 2 decibels, and everything else is turned off, I believe. Yes, apart from the preamps.
You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad.
So it's that was giving it all the volume. Might even, oh shit. Oh my gosh. That might even be too much volume actually. I don't know if it's just because we've been listening to it, we're sounding lower, but now this is on, it just sounds super loud. So let's just turn that down a bit.
And you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam.
And another thing that we do not have is a de-esser, but I would have slapped a de-esser on there. Maybe I'll just slap one on there quickly just to kind of show you what I would do. I'll probably put it on put it on all vocals. This is just the waves one, so I'm cheating a little bit, but it is quite simple.
And you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Go did man bait, cause he's actually mad. It's actually sad, they out for the net, they ain't actually bad. The dead things come naturally gassed. Come to my block if you're actually tapped. You know who it is and you know who I am. Back with a bang. Why hit G, make it clap for the fam. Gopper did man bait cause he's actually mad.
And lastly, we just got this hits EQ, mastering EQ on the beat. We just wanted to give the beat a little lift as well. I generally, when I get a 2-track instrumental, I'll always EQ it. I'll put the R bass on there, some compression, whatever it might be. In this case, we just got this Hitsville mastering EQ. And what are we doing? Let's see. So we're doing 3 decibel boost at 50 hertz. Why does it say 25? Oh, deep peak 25, 50. What the hell? What does that do? All right, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, whatever I did, I guess I just thought it sounded good. So I boosted this first one, which I think is 50 hertz, but it could be 25 hertz. Who knows? I boosted that by 3 decibels. I boosted this one by 4 decibels. And yeah, that's it. I guess I just wanted some low end. So let's hear the beat without the vocals real quick. Night and day, night and day. So yeah, I guess listening back, you can just straight away tell what I've done there. Boosted the low end. It needed a lot more low end. What's good about using these types of EQs on your backing track, on your 2-track, is it really does force you to use your ears. And I say that a lot, but with graphic EQs, you go in a bit too much. You know, you see people doing those tiny EQ like dips and peaks, but with these kind of things, you got to use their preset frequency ranges that they've selected, that they've engineered when they made this hardware. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it works a lot better when you're using EQ on backing tracks as a whole. When you're EQing the different parts, different sections, you know, your drums, your kick drum, your snare drum, your piano, whatever, then use a Pro Q2 or Pro Q3, sorry. But I just find when you're EQing anything as a whole on your mix buses, these types of EQs are really good. And this is actually a really good one, just hearing the before and after. But yeah, let's listen to the track a bit more, because that's pretty much it. That's everything we got. Nothing else. Like I said, there was no delays, unfortunately. Otherwise, I probably would have added a delay to the vocal, but it's cool. I like how it turned out anyway. But yeah, let's listen to a bit more of the track a bit further up.
Tap, bro got the western, them boy love attention. Beef in my section, better bring your protection. Bad B1 affection. Now I can't show that. Bun that shit, I ain't no bull cat. K to the R, I know you know that. Like B, I ain't no runner. Your boy tried run up and still got done up. Look, never learnt this summer, side. Look, never learnt 100. Oh, how you gonna run with your car? Brother, I can never do.
And yeah, that's it. Overall, like I said, I really like the Universal Audio plugins. It's a shame that the rest of them aren't accessible, because I would love to hear how the SSL bus compressor sounds. One of my favorite compressors, like plugins, should I say. I would have loved to have heard how the distressor sounds and a bunch of other plugins that they've got that isn't available on the Spark. Maybe they will be at some point, but I guess it'd be good if they did like a tier system. Like, you know, you pay £10 a month and get the basic set of plugins like this. Then maybe pay £15 a month, you get a few more. You pay £20 a month, etc., etc. But they are actually got a sale on at the time of recording where you can get 3 months for £1. So if you like what you heard, go check them out. If you've got an Apollo Twin or any Universal Audio's audio interface, then you can get the plugins anyway. I don't have one, so that's why this is really good for me, because it gives me a chance to use the plugins. And overall, I really like them. and I definitely recommend. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a comment in the... No, if you enjoyed, make sure you leave me a like. That's how you know I've had some time off over Christmas. Also, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want to see next. Hit me up using the socials below if you've got any questions. I try to answer them when possible. And of course, have a good 2023. Let's get the year started well, and let's kick on. These videos are going to be coming out thick and fast. Trust me, I'm going to record a few videos today. So if you see me wearing the same outfit, don't judge me. You know, I'm bulk recording today. But yeah, bless up, man. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.